Hi there, and welcome to what I can already promise you to be the worst planned video in the history of my YouTube channel. Because I planned nothing for this, but I kind of promised that I would share my favorite songs from Eurovision 2022 with everyone, and I haven't done that still. And I'm thinking I should do that. But then I got the idea to I kind of want to talk the semifinals. So I guess I have to make another video later on where I tell you my favorite songs from the year. Because right now I just want to kind of look at the semifinals and really tell you what my favorite songs from the semifinals are. And then I could do like a part two where I break down like my ideal little final, and I'll give you like the top five or top 10 from that. I think that could be a bit fun. I'm just gonna try it out, and we'll see how this how this goes. I'm probably gonna ramble way too much today. There's no structure, there's no script. I have the running orders here in front of me, and I'm just gonna look at each song and talk a little bit about it and tell you if I want to see it qualify or not, I guess, or if I like just my general opinion on it. To anyone this may interest, that's awesome. To anyone who's completely uninterested, that's cool too. Just click off, watch something else, do something better with your time, because there's a lot of better things you can do with your time, I promise. Anyway, I'll just look at the songs. I'll tell you what I think of them. This is not going to be a prediction type of video because I'm terrible at predicting, and I will never ever do a prediction video again, I think. I did one back in 2017, which was probably way off. I don't know. I don't remember what I predicted, but I surely didn't predict the winner. I remember that much. And I haven't predicted a winner since 2012. So there's that. I'm already rambling, and I haven't started talking about any songs. Eurovision starts in on Tuesday. It's really coming up quite soon. And of course, they've started rehearsing and stuff like that. I'm not going to take that into consideration at all here. It's just the songs that I want to talk about. Other people can cover the rehearsal business. That's not for me. I'll watch it when it goes live on Tuesday. I'll watch the show. Semifinal one. I think I might have to split this one up into like two parts as well, because there's a lot of songs to talk about. So I should shut up about unnecessary stuff. We'll talk. Semifinal one. First song I see here is Albania. And you might already know, like, maybe you watched my reviews from before where I've talked about the songs. But of course, opinions can change and all of that. Albania has a song which I quite like this year. It's kind of outstanding in a sense that it doesn't really sound like anything else in the competition. I think Albania it just has that vibe to it that always you can kind of tell that, okay, we're at Albania here. And I'm quite like that, and I'm really liking the song they have this year as well. It's really cool with the sound design. It has a really memorable instrumental hook, which I'm quite fond of. Vocally, it's engaging. It's not really my typical kind of music style, but I just kind of enjoy what they have going for it. And I really just kind of think that I want to see this go through. I hope I can actually narrow it down to 10 now when I look at all of the songs. But Albania is probably one that I would really like to see go through. It's not among my top favorites in this semi, but it's up there. I think there are enough outstanding and redeeming qualities of it that I really enjoy. To really just see me kind of get hyped for it, and it's an enjoyable listen. It's catchy, it's memorable, and I quite like it. And it also has that sound design to it. It has a quite a unique mark on it, and I think that's really just the standout part of it. Um, yeah, it's not one of those songs that I go crazy about, but for sure I enjoy it when I listen to it. So Albania, I'd like to see that go through, I think. And following it up is Latvia, which I know people kind of see it as a joke entry, but I guess it kind of is. It has that tongue-in-cheek quality, but I also do think that the musical quality of it is there. And I mean, I would, I mean, I see a few songs kind of in the same bracket as Latvia in the semi that are like these more fun and carefree acts. And I really do think that Latvia is probably the strongest out of them for my taste personally. I think musically it's quite complex. It's very charming in the way that they really play around with each other, and they're very charismatic. It's just a whole full package of enjoyment, I think, and I really quite just enjoy what they put together, and it's also becomes kind of an enjoyable listening experience musically, I think. And it just sounds tight, the whole production of it and all of the recordings. It just sounds really cohesive. I enjoy it. Latvia, I'd like to see that go through too, to be honest. Um, and the same thing goes for the next song, which is Lithuania. I don't think I need to say a lot about this one because if you watched my review for Lithuania, you know that I really enjoyed this song. It's really in its own little world. It has a really strong world building with atmosphere. It's quite complexly written. I enjoy how the chords move with the vocal intervals throughout the song. There's just this whole kind of intimate feeling about it as well. It's performed very intimately, and I just really enjoy everything that goes on with Lithuania in this year's selection. It's just its own package. It's can't really be mistaken for any other song in the selection, and I really do think the musical qualities of it should also be highlighted. If you want to hear my more elaborate thoughts on all of these songs, you should watch my reviews, I guess. I'll just cover the basics here. I really enjoy Lithuania. Want to see it go through. I'm 100% for for qualifiers so far, but the next one isn't. Switzerland is the fourth song in semifinal one, and although I think there are some redeeming qualities, I quite like the instrumentation they've gone for. It's a very heartfelt message, and I like the combination of the instrumentation approach and the message. But somewhere in the middle, it just falls for me, and I can't really latch onto it. It does neither minimalism or grandness. It doesn't move in any direction. It just lays flat in the middle, and that's kind of where you lose me. Even though it's performed very intimately, then maybe you should go with the more minimalistic approach. And if you want to go with that approach, I think really you need to step up your production quality. You need to kind of play around with dynamics a bit more and really just kind of set a greater and more tangible tone to everything that you have going for it. Not my thing. It moves too slowly. It doesn't have anything that really hooks me instrumental wise either. So it just kind of goes on and then you're done and you kind of forget about it, especially considering the song that follows it up. Slovenia, I'm not sure if they're gonna go through in real life, but if I were the one who decides, they'll be sailing through, probably as a top three in the semi or something. Probably the most musically complex song of this year, I think. Just takes you on so many turns throughout the song. It's really well written, and I can't really say that it's the most well written song of the year because that's kind of unfair because you have different approaches that you take when you write music. But just in terms of the whole vibe that I'm getting, that this is a group of people who really love what they're doing. They've enjoyed putting this together musically. Instead of, kind of this approach that you take when you want to write the perfect pop song. This is the complete opposite of that. This is people who just love playing around with music and playing together and writing together and just sharing ideas, putting things together. And that really shows in the song, I think. It's a standout in that sense. Just phenomenal sound, instrumentation altogether. They play off each other so well. It could struggle, definitely, because it's not really one of these songs that really has a hook and it doesn't really maybe latch onto you in the same way that other songs in the semi does. But I just think there are so many redeeming qualities and so much admiration I have for this song that I would love to see it go through. So that's 4 out of 5 so far, and it's going to be 5 out of 6 when Ukraine comes up here. I mean, Ukraine surely is a guaranteed qualifier. It should be a guaranteed qualifier. A really palpable hook, super intense instrumental, great charismatic performers. It's just the full package, really, for me. I'm loving really everything about this. I've played it so many times. And it's just such a memorable hook. The whole vibe of the song, the constant energy of it, it's just all so perfect for me that I'm just really loving everything that Ukraine has put together this year. Stefania is just one of those songs with the hook that really sticks in your head the moment you hear it, and you just kind of continue thinking about it, and it just has this whole world building around it as well, and everything that backs it up. It's just so strong and intense and really quite hard-hitting. So I'm loving every second of Stefania, and it should definitely go to the final. It will go to the final, I'm sure of it, and I'll be happy when it does. Song number 7, Bulgaria. do not want to see this go to the final. It's not really onto par. You know, rock music is something that I feel so passionately about because I've grown up with rock music throughout my entire childhood. I've played in several rock bands, and I mean, we were terrible, but my passion for rock music was still there, you know. And this group it feels like they're lacking the passion, which is kind of ironic because I mean, they're rock musicians and they're performing a rock song in Eurovision, but it lacks power, it lacks energy, it lacks intensity. It feels like it goes on and it feels like it should be in the background, and that's where it probably will end up. No one will, you know, be headbanging or completely enjoying the hell out of this song when they see it live because it doesn't really have that drive that it really needs to have. You know, rock music, there needs to be hectic drumming, there needs to be hard-hitting guitars. There's a guitar solo in this song, which is probably the best part of it because there's a little bit of variation in that. But the chorus is probably the greatest letdown of all, in all honesty. It's quite dragging. It's not very engaging. It's melodically quite stale, and the production quality on the entire song is very subpar, unfortunately. Bulgaria can stay in the semi for all I care. If they end up qualifying above something that I love, like Slovenia, then I'm gonna have a problem with it. Yeah, that's all all I have to say. Netherlands is up next. Just solid package altogether. A really strong song, quite emotionally hard hitting. There's a nice production quality to it. I like the variation in instruments that they use throughout, and there's this vocal hook in the chorus that's quite really gripping, you know. And I just like the progression of it, and at certain parts of the song, it really just kind of sets the perfect atmosphere as well, I think. When the guitar is used as the main instrument, I think those are my favorite parts because the guitar has a really great sound to it in this song. But you know, just overall package of this, it's really strong. Should qualify. I really wanted to qualify, of course. And yeah, it's a song I've been listening to a bunch, in all honesty. Really enjoyable. I want to see Netherlands go through. So that's 6 out of 8. We have a lot of songs left. The next one, though, is kind of on the border for me. Moldova. When I first heard this song, I wasn't really sold on it. I think the song is quite underwhelming. But at the same time, I really think that this is quite charming. It really stands out, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, when I listen to it, I just get kind of dragged into it, and I get hooked along. Which is quite nice and a bit unexpected for me. But I really enjoy just the whole package that they have here. And I don't know, like, I don't think I really want to see it qualify over other songs here. I can only pick 10, you know? But it's probably on the border, and I would actually be pretty happy if it did qualify because that means they've done something right and that people are really just appreciative of the charm and the carelessness of it all. I just think that maybe like you could kind of compare this song with Latvia. It has the same kind of audience, I guess. It's the carefree, upbeat, funny thing in the semi to a great extent. And I think I just prefer Latvia by like this much. So a bit. But I like if Moldova takes the spot over Latvia, I wouldn't be upset at all. Moldova has every right to be in the final as well. I prefer the Latvian song over the Moldovan one, but it all comes down to the stage as well. You know what really hooks the audience on the night. So I wouldn't be upset if Moldova goes through. It's just not one of my personal choices here. One that is one of my personal choices, though, for sure, is Portugal. Just the whole kind of melancholy vibe of the song. It's very filled with kind of a solace in it, and there's a lot of solitude, I think. It's just this whole aura of the song, the entire atmosphere and ambience that it creates. It's just really hard-hitting for me. I quite really enjoy it. The harmonies are fantastic. The instrumental is quite charming and really inviting. I like the warm sound of it. And just the full package and the delivery of it. It's, you know, there's nothing I can complain about in this song. And I love the variation that it creates as well in the second verse, I believe it is, where they swap up the chords completely and they go in a different direction only to return to the same chorus, which kind of gives the chorus this vibe of it's the same type of solace that returns, even though this kind of journey has taken different paths throughout the song. I don't know what I'm saying. It's really abstract, but I just kind of really love how the song progresses and how it moves from segment to segment, really kind of unexpectedly at times. But there's still this little case of a home in the middle of it. Portugal should go through. I'm gonna be really upset if it doesn't. Um, Croatia comes after it. I'm sorry, but it's not my thing. It's too underwhelming in my opinion. It doesn't really like the message of the song doesn't really come across because it sounds so sweet and charming, which is just a complete mismatch. I mean, I've read all of your comments on my review for this song, and it's you're all on point because it's when you read into the song more, you kind of get a completely different vibe than what is being presented, and I think it's a shame. The song also doesn't really have any melodic or instrumental impact. Uh, like melodically, maybe a little bit because the chorus is quite just enjoyable to listen to, but the instrumental is so underwhelming, I think. And I'm a sucker for guitars, but this is even though it has like a little nice guitar arrangement, it's just not there. It's not expensive enough, and it's not really hooking enough. And I already know that she's probably gonna have a guitar with her on stage and pretend play it, so that's already a minus point. I'm harsh like that, but whatever. Croatia, I don't really want to see you in the final. If you end up going there, that's awesome for you because I really hope that Croatia can get some good results soon. But I don't see it, and I wouldn't want to see it over some of my other favorites in this semi. Denmark kind of have grown on me a little bit. I think it's not really one of my favorite Danish entries. I think Denmark can be up here, and then Denmark can be up down here. Like you can't even see it how low it is. And this year they're somewhere around here. I think. I don't know. This song doesn't connect with me. It's quite oddly structured with the very slow opening and then this whole rock package that comes in at the second half. And I think the first half of the song kind of drags on a little bit, but it makes for the rock segment of the song is quite energetic and hectic, and a lot of stuff goes on in it throughout. So I'm enjoying that section of the song. It just takes too long to get there, and there's like this compromise that had to be made. So I can't really connect with it. The drummer is amazing. I've already talked about that. She's the star of the show for sure. The song is pretty catchy in all honesty. The chorus is really fun, or fun. Well, yeah, fun. I think it's energetic, it's memorable, but as a whole package, I won't remember it because what comes after it is Austria, which is just way more energetic. But I mean, Austria, then Denmark is a non-qualifier for me, by the way, if that wasn't clear enough. Austria is one too. Even though it's super energetic, this type of music, I'm quite passionate about this type of music too, to be honest. Electronic music is, after I was so involved with rock music, I kind of shifted to electronic music, so I'm really heavily invested into that, and I love just working with sound design. I love analyzing how you produce songs. I love just working with mixing and with a sound design, as I said, and just kind of playing around with sounds, being creative with dynamics, being creative with detailing. This song has kind of lost all of that for me. It's very like it sticks to the formula a lot, and I think like mainly like synth bass is probably the most boring synth bass out of every song that has a synth bass this year because it's two notes being repeated and then just shifted between the chords. It doesn't have a variation to it. What it really just is a party anthem. It gets it gets the blood pumping and you get energetic and you get hyped for it. And there's like a catchy hook to it. I think the best part of the song is the build-up section where the melody swaps and they add like extra percussion to really just build towards something. Chorus isn't as hard hitting for me, but it is for a lot of other people. But the build-up section I think is probably flawless in the song. I just wish the chorus had that additional variation. It had a bit more complexity. It had a little more detailing. And then the structure of the song also doesn't work for me at all. It's intended to be an arena song, I think, because there's this boom, clap, boom, boom, clap part towards the end, which I hate, but I get the purpose of it because it's an arena song. And kind of what's a mismatch for me there as well, though, after that section, is that the chorus sounds identical that comes after it. So there's like this additional kind of hype that you're trying to build for the final chorus. It doesn't really get matched by the actual punch of the final chorus. I'm rambling on way too much about this one. I have a lot of negative opinions on Austria because I think it's a missed opportunity. I love songs like this to compete, but it's not for me. It doesn't work. And it works for a lot of other people, though, so I'm happy for them. Maybe they can sneak in, like, they could get into the final. It's a big fan favorite, I think, and it's always nice to see Austria do well, I think. It's just one of these countries that I want to see well for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe just this constant underdog kind of thing that they have over them. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, whatever. That was Austria. Iceland is the next one. I'm torn on this one because I love the instrumentation and the whole vibe of it. It's world building, the atmosphere and ambiance of it. It's really pleasant, and I'm just loving the whole vibe. But the song never really gets going, which is my super big struggle with this one. And it doesn't have to be an issue, you know, but I just feel like this song could have benefited from really something additional in the final chorus. Some more playing around. I think this electric guitar that they introduce in the song should have done more towards the final end of the song, because right now it just becomes an atmospheric instrument. You could have definitely just elevated it a little bit further for the finale to really just give something extra in the final ending of the song, so that there's something happening. Right now it feels kind of anticlimactic. Yeah, you get my point. But here's the thing, though, that I think that I really want to see it go through, because I think that this song has its own little thing, its own little identity, and I really want that to be kind of elevated. It's not one of these songs that I think should be sailing through, and it's not towards the top of my list, but I would like to see it go through, to be honest. So I'll put that as a bit of a borderline, I guess, but I'd like to see Iceland go through, to be honest. A song that I would that I would definitely like to see go through is the song from Greece. I don't need to say anything about this one. If you want to know my full extent of thoughts on this song, you can watch the review that's on my channel, because this song is flawless, perfect, whatever. Love it to bits. Final chorus is so hard hitting that I can't believe it. Just the way that it leads into the final chorus as well, it's fantastic. And the first section of the song was also outstanding with the vocoders and the synth work and harmonies. And Greece should go to the final. Hopefully it will. Norway. I'm the odd one out here because I don't really love this. Of course, I understand that this should be in the final. And if it's going there, it should probably, like, it could take the spot from Latvia for me, because it's, again, the same kind of vibe. It's the crowd pleaser. It's the funny thing you can do with you can dance to this song with your grandma at her birthday party or whatever. But just musically, this is so uninteresting to me. Composition wise, it's nowhere really. I mean, they sing well and it's a catchy hook, but it's not really reaching for me anywhere. And I'm not really fond of the structure. I'm not really fond of the sound design of it. It's well produced, that's for sure. I mean, it sounds good, but it's nothing that outstanding to me. And I really kind of think that they kind of lose the whole thing for me when it sounds kind of serious at the opening, but the lyrics aren't really. And then you have this yum 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 chorus, which just kind of loses it for me, I guess. If you want to be funny or whatever, then yeah, they do want to be funny. They go all the way with it. I don't know what I'm saying. It just doesn't hit with me. It doesn't connect with me. I'm the wrong audience for it. In my opinion, like, if I decided, I would let them stay in the semi, but of course I understand that they shouldn't. They should go to the final. But for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna leave them out. Sorry. Feel so evil right now. Armenia closes the semi. Pleasant song, just really casual listening experience. You put it on in the back and just really enjoy yourself. Nothing wrong with it anywhere, just really enjoyable. I'm liking it a lot. It's not outstanding in any way, but I think there are good ideas in there to just kind of keep it refreshing. They throw in this piano after the chorus is hit to just really add this kind of variation instrumentally and a little bit melodically, and it adds some harmonization to it. It's a pleasant hook, it's a pleasant instrumental, it's a good package. 3 minutes of just enjoyment, I think, from Armenia, and you can't really ask for more, I think. I put it through. It's not one of my outstanding favorites in the semi either, but I would put this one through. So to summarize semifinal 1, I think I've chosen 10 on the spot, to be honest. Let's see. I'll summarize for you real quick here what I've said today. Albania, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovenia, Ukraine, Netherlands, Portugal, Iceland, Greece, Armenia. Those are my 10, and you can disagree as much as you want with me on that one. I think Austria and Norway are probably the big ones that I'm leaving out here. I think Moldova is probably my closest borderline, though. Like, Moldova is definitely welcome in the final for me. Norway is, of course, welcome as well. Austria is welcome if they perform it well live. Denmark could be welcome too. I don't want to see Switzerland. I don't want to see Bulgaria. I don't want to see Croatia. They have to be really good live for me to change my mind. But the songs do nothing for me. I feel like I sound a bit harsh at times, but I hope everyone's fine. We're entitled to have different opinions, you know. So do tell me which 10 qualifiers you would like to see from this semi in the comments. This has been a long video. I'm sorry, everyone. You've listened to me ramble for way too much. Do leave the 10 songs you want to see qualify from this semi in the comments. I'll be looking forward to reading that, and we can see and compare our choices. And then you should go do something more productive with your day than watching me talk absolute nonsense. Thanks for watching the video anyway, and have a good one.